If you think being a jump jockey is scary, you'd never been on stage with Kevin Miles and a microphone in front of 400 people. Thank you for coming. Did you know? Would you have come along if you did know you're about to win the most prestigious award in New Zealand racing, Kevin?
No, they said it was for the jumping award, so when I read out my name, I thought, oh, hell, I made a mistake here, so... but I'm a bit lucky, and I'm just very proud, actually, to win something like this, because I don't win much in this sort of category, so...
Well, there's some amazing names on there. How does it feel to be joining some of the legends of the industry? Because to the people in this room and to people in TABs and in the lounge rooms, you are a legend, even if you don't think you are.
Yeah, I might be lucky. I think it must be the youngest to win it.
It is usually a bad sign, I must admit. All right. A good friend of yours and a good friend of mine, Harvey Wilson, I rang him the other day to get the inside dirt on you, and he said, you've got the most unrealistic nickname of anybody on earth. So let's get to the bottom of it. How did a smart bloke end up being called Dummy?
I was no good at school. That's why I created a job for myself, working a few horses.
Well, you're getting pretty good at it. How did you end up being a horse trainer, Kevin? Because obviously you do it your way. Was it something you learnt from your dad? You learnt from a particular trainer? Was it being a stockman who became a horseman? How did it all eventuate?
No, my father was a horseaholic, really. And when we were kids, Patrick and I used to go to races, and we used to get all the bottles, milk, the empty soft drink bottles, and take them home and sell them. So that's how we sort of started. And then father said, oh, you better get a horse each, and just went from there and sort of eventuated up a bit further. And
there's a lot of mystery about Kevin Myers. The bookies are terrified of you. The punters absolutely love you. What does a normal day at the Myers farm look like? Because I rang you ages ago and you said, I've got some cows to do. I can't do a radio show because I'm doing some cows. So what actually goes on in your life? How much time is horses? How much time is the farm? And who runs this whole thing?
Oh, everyone runs it. So it's just a bit of hit and hope, really. So... I'll tell you a story. Once I rang up the Inland Revenue and I said, oh, my ACC's too high. And the girl said on the other end, oh, yes, that's okay. I said, look, I spend 12 hours a day on the farm with the cows and 3 hours with the horses. And she said, oh, that's quite good. And I said, you're charging me 9 cents in the dollar. And I said, and it should be about 3 cents because I'm spending more time with the cows than that. She said, yeah. I said, is there any chance you could halve it? And she said, yes, you can. And then at the end of the conversation, she said to me, we haven't done too bad with Sailor Gear and Belle Muse. And so I had to say to her, I'm a bit red in the face at the moment, but next time I see you at the races, I'll shout you a beer. So,
the joys of living in a small town. I can't not ask you this because people here want to know, because there's lots of horse people here. What is your fundamental belief in training horses? Is it feed them big, work them hard? Is it individuals? Is there something you do? Because we all want to know what Kevin Myers does, and this is our only chance to ask you.
Oh, no, I've been taught by all of the senior ones here, so as I look, I just feed them good, and a lot of times I put them in front of the cows, not behind the milkers, so and that cuts out the vets. So no, and if the horse is no good, no matter what you do, you can't get them to win. So it's just patience and hope, really.
Two things you're very passionate about: jumps racing and racing in the regions. There are two things you want to see survive, and you're putting your horses and your money behind it.
Yeah, no, I've always changed with the times and gone with the times, so everything changes, and as all the young ones, there's a lot of people out here, like we're all in the catching pen now, aren't we? So, but it's good to see all the young ones, and I see Bruce, he's just taken over, so which is a younger one sort of taken over, and people didn't realise that. Bruce, he started in the horse industry at Awakina Beach races.
So Bruce Sherrick, the boss of the joint, who was obviously not as big as he is now, rode for you at the Awakina beach races.
No, he didn't ride for me. He was in a hack race, and his father put a thoroughbred in.
It wasn't good enough to ride for you.
No, his father put a thoroughbred in, but the handicapper on the day didn't like Bob, so Bruce was put at the back, and he still didn't win. So it was, but I think he'll be very successful, and we just hope he does a good job for NZ Racing.
What's the best horse you've trained?
Oh, hell. I can't tell you because I backed it.
This is how shit starts, Kevin. This is how we both get in trouble. We've both been fired by the TRB, by the way. Okay. What do you wish for? Because the kids are involved with the horses now, your daughter, your two sons, and they're wonderful young people. What do you hope for the farm and for the stables and for Team Myers heading forward? Are you slowly going to drift out and they're slowly going to take up the reins? Because I just don't see that in you.
No, Ange and I are sort of taking a step back. We've got Kaylee and Jason and Luke. Kaylee thinks she's Gay Waterhouse, and Jace thinks he's Chris Waller, and Luke thinks he's bloody Chris O'Brien. Jason O'Brien.
You got a good barn there.
Yeah, they got to prove it yet, don't they?
Let's talk about what you've got out of racing, because you've had some interesting moments along the way. But you've also, when I speak to somebody like Harvey, or I talk to Sean Feel, and they talk about you with almost a reverence for your loyalty and what sort of bloke you are. What have you got out of racing, Kevin?
No, racing's been very good to me, and I look out here and it was all of you people are the ones that have helped me in racing, because I can ask any of them and they sort of come to the party, and that's where I've been a bit lucky in racing. But I don't know, just it's enjoyable, isn't it?
It's good, it's enjoyable. You're in the right room to say that. If you could win any race, any big race, Melbourne Cup, Steeplechase, the Grand National over in England, if you could win any race before Kevin eventually hands over to Gay Waterhouse and Chris Waller, what race would you want to win?
Oh, I don't know. Any race that suits me. So, no, this award it'll go on my mantelpiece, and I haven't got many on my mantelpiece. And the only other one I've got on is when I played in the 6th grade rugby, and we won 9 out of 9. So what I'm saying to Bruce and Cameron, if they want a hand with the Warriors, give me a ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin, non-dummy, Myers.